Hello and welcome to Elephant Power Productions. I'm American Elephant, call me Kevin, and this is Kev Talks, a series where I talk about what I want to talk about. So, you know Power Rangers? This is Super Sentai. It came first. It's where this meme is from.
Today is fine day in California. Huh?
And it is now over 50 years old and still going. So, who's ready to party? Number 1 Sentai Gozyuger is the 49th season of Super Sentai, but follows the 50th team, because Lupin Ranger vs. Potter Ranger had 2 Ranger teams at once. Also, Go Ranger has a longer episode count than most Sentai seasons get nowadays.
But that's irrelevant! Actually, it is pretty relevant to the topic at hand, but fuck you!
And once again, it is in time for the franchise's 50th anniversary, which... holy crap, happy anniversary. I may still be a relatively new fan, but that's a wonderful achievement for any series to reach, let alone while it's still going. As for this season, set after an event called the Universe War, a multiverse resetting battle that left all the Sentai mecha but one, Tegasword, defeated, this story follows 5 individuals, Hoiru, Rikuo, Ryugi, Kinjiro, and Sumino, getting the power to become a Sentai from both Tegasword and mysterious rings. If any of them can collect all the other Sentai rings, which are based on previous teams, and become number 1, they will have their wish permanently granted by Tegasword. However, they'll have to fight for it, as the other rings are either in possession of Universe Warriors using past teams' rings to become Red Rangers fighting for their individual wishes, or being hunted by the wedding-themed Buraiden and their army of no-ones, who are all number 1 at something so long as they physically possess people's dreams. While the motifs take a second to breathe in, as you're essentially getting an animal, wedding, wrestling, ring, rock, paper, scissors, and anniversary season all at once.
What the fuck is this?
Gozyuger has been a delight on my end. The show may not be over yet, but I have enjoyed or loved every episode thus far. That said, today I'm only going to be discussing my current favorites of the series, episodes 11 and 12, which also happen to pay tribute to the 25th Sentai, Jakuju Sentai Gal Ranger, aka the season used for Power Rangers Wild Force. As I stated earlier, Gozyuger is not over yet, so obviously there will be full spoilers for both these episodes and the 10 episodes beforehand, so please keep that in mind. Alright, the introduction's over. What are we waiting for? Let's clap our hands and get litty in this bitch.
My brother in Christ.
Better keep your eye on the sleeping lion.
Episode 11 begins with our Blue Ranger, Gozyuger. Real name Riko Byakuya, a last name that, by the by, I struggled to pronounce for weeks, even though the full name of Kyoryu Gold, Utsusemi Maru, flows flawlessly off my tongue. Anywho, his deal with Tegasword was to become a popular idol once more, as he supposedly got kicked out of the business due to being framed for a terrible crime. Here we see him practicing one of his songs before being ambushed by 2 men that are haters of Rikuo, as according to them, his popularity stole the lover of the first, Kawashima, and made the lover of the second, Iwashita, blow their wedding fund on his merch.
Their what?
I can't even find a way to make a joke about it.
They've also come prepared to throw hands, or rather wings, by pulling out Sentai rings and Universe Tegaswords to henshin into Red Rangers. Kawashima becoming Vul Eagle of Sun Vulcan, with Iwashita becoming my fucking goat, Juo Eagle from Zyuohger, baby! We are silver back!
Gorilla, what did you say?
Anyway, Rikuo chooses stone, beats the 2 birds, and takes their rings pretty quickly.
This is why we cannot have nice things!
Gregory is gifted with the power of gun.
Ah well, at least the suits looked great. I especially love how the Gozyuger belt feels like a natural extension of the Zyuohger suits while also complementing the gold on Yamato's helmet. Plus, this whole bit keeps up the fun idea of random people being given the Universe Warrior powers who could show up at any time, so I'm not as mad that Zyuohger didn't get a whole tribute episode in this case. Also, it seems we'll be getting Yamato's actor back later in a new role anyway, so I still win. And in this case, beating these bird brains catches the attention of a mysterious figure. Cut to Tegasword Village, the restaurant headquarters of the Rangers. After the team gets a package of new ring holders from Osai, another Universe Warrior who wielded the Zyuranger ring in previous episodes. Look, Hasbro! MMPR! Nostalgia money! Attempt this! The same figure from earlier arrives while playing an ocarina and introduces himself as Todoroki Gaia, the true focus of this video.
Because I am wearing my lucky hat.
Honey milkをホットで。蜂蜜するだけだ。
You may got the honey, but I got the Sugar.
Gaia says he's a beast tamer and currently looking for a beast with one horn. But that convo is interrupted when a new no one monster, Onigoko no one, starts causing trouble in town.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Fortunately, as the Gozyugers fight to avoid getting tagged in the woods, OMG, Craig of the Creek reference.
Step off! Step off! Shit! They jumping me!
Gaia shows up again and transforms with a Sentai ring into Gal Red from Gal Ranger.
I'm going to take you to the lions.
Wait, I just realized. If Gaia was wearing the shade version of the Gal Red suit, would that make him Dark Gaia? With that game of tag interrupted, a new one begins, where Gaia gets to show off his musical talents as if he's Candace with letter B instruments. Because, according to him,
we fucking got 6ix9ine here, yo!
which he demonstrates in this game of literal freeze tag by using a kalimba to control Hoiru and make him act like a dog. You heard it here first, folks. Kalimbas can control the wolves. And now that the secret is out, I hope they will be used to overthrow the government instead of being Pied Pipered off a cliff by people who still think eradicating them from the Midwest was a good idea, without realizing that this is why coyotes are fucking everywhere. Double entendre. Anywho, when the no one tries escaping, we also see through a gag with Suino that Gaia can control horses, or unicorns in this case, using a horse jaw. Yeah, I know it's called a kehata, but still, that's a horse jaw. I don't know why, but I find that funny and disturbing. Like, all the other instruments up to this point were completely normal, and then just a horse jaw. Like, what?
I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse.
Back on topic, Onigoko no one leaves because of a rule that says it cannot play tag after 5 p.m. But afterward, while Gaia makes it clear that he respects Rikuo's skills in battle and thinks he could be a good beast tamer, not sure how pulling out the Glock on two guys in bird suits equates to taming wild animals, but okay, he's still going to try to take the rings of the Gozyugers if it means getting his wish. After a brief moment of Rikuo doing some battle strategy stuff while talking to Hoiru, and a quick teaser as to what Gaia's true desire is, this leads to the final battle of the episode, and it's great.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
We're not done! This is actually insane! He didn't even let this nigga breathe!
Gaia starts controlling the Rangers, so Rikuo steps in to screw with his instruments. Bouquet, one of the no one generals, steps in, so we get some mecha action with Sumino. And in easily my favorite part of all this, not only does Rikuo fight with Kinjiro as Juo Eagle, but when Gaia tries to pull out his Kenna, an Andean flute, for controlling eagles, Rikuo flips up his helmet and becomes Juo Gorilla. Oh, hell yes.
That's what I'm talking about!
But of course the Sun Vulcan suit also gets time to shine, and I must say, having seen about a third of that show, at least until it was removed from Internet Archive, god damn it, it's awesome to watch new fight footage for the 5th Sentai's Red Ranger suit in 2025. But after it looks like everything's said and done, not only does Gaia not lose his Universe Warrior ring, but the episode takes a turn. One thing I didn't mention was that in an earlier scene of the episode, Bouquet, in conversation with the hilarious general villain Fire Candle, mentions that this no one is of great interest to the leader of the Buraiden, Queen Tegajun. That it's an experiment. In fact, the reason she joins the fight in a mecha is because she doesn't want the Rangers learning the truth about it too fast. But that truth comes out here when, well... The episode ends with Gaia realizing this monster is the beast he's been after, before shouting at it to give someone named Runa back to him. And now, with all that context in mind, we can finally discuss Gaia tries getting Runa back from the monster, but after being forcefully demorphed, she appears from within its ribcage and says she hates him. And then after an explosive attack, she vanishes. This leads to two scenes where both sides explain the full picture. On the Ranger side, we learned that Runa was an animal conservationist, a vet, and Gaia's fiancé. One who, when hiking with Gaia in the mountains after hearing about sightings of the supposedly extinct Japanese wolf, fell off a cliff. And when he rushed down to see if she was alive, her body was taken over by a howling no one spirit and disappeared. But what makes this monster of the week even more compelling conceptually is what we learn from the Buraiden side of things. Like I said earlier, the No One monsters are beings born from possessing people with great specific desires or passions. But as explained by Bouquet, when this No One possessed Runa, she died after letting her desire to keep living be known. See, the No Ones need human hosts to be complete, but this No One is more monstrous because said human is in a bit of a Schrodinger's cat situation between life and death. So Bouquet had Onigoko No One possess the Oni No One to make its composition more stable, and it succeeded. I'll discuss this more later, but for now, I'll say that this choice is brilliant. The conversation ends when Gaia says he found the ring after Runa was taken, and that he's tried to master the one song to get her back. Following this, we get another great talk, where Rikuo chats with Gaia about the song he plays, aka Hibiki no Shirabe from Gal Ranger. While not the original version sung by the artist Takemi, this new cover, sung by Runa's actress Senna, is not only beautiful, but underscores his memories of her in this scene. As he talks about how much she meant to him, how much she loved animals, how much she inspired him with her song, and how he feels responsible for her death because she fell trying to save him. But despite wanting her back, he also knows she's gone now. So with the idea that she hates him after that fight in his head, Gaia's plan, which Rikuo picks up on through very smart dialogue, is to let the No One kill him so they'll both be at peace. After this, Oni No One reappears to cause trouble, and the final battle of the episode begins. It's a three-way fight between the Buraiden, the Gozyugers with Gaia, and the Oni No One, with even Ring Hunter Garyudo, an evil extra ranger introduced in episode 7, getting in on the fight. But while said action is excellent, likely thanks to both of these episodes being directed by Koichi Sakamoto, a legendary action director for both Super Sentai and Power Rangers, the real focus for me here is on Gaia and Runa. And she gets ready to give him what he wants after she pushes him away and grows giant, which in any other Sentai or Power Ranger season wouldn't really be a surprise, but here it kind of is, because previously all the mecha battles against villains were foot soldiers or fire candle in giant robots. So now, with his guilt grown to scale and staring him down, now Gaia is ready to accept his death in this moment. But then Rikuo comes in clutch and begins singing Hibiki no Shirabe.
Really?
Okay, fine, Toei. I'll chop it up for copyright. Just give me a second. There, that should be enough to keep the video from getting claimed. But just in case, I'm gonna insert a meme between my cuts.
Bitch.
I know, it undercuts the serious emotions of these scenes, but I'd rather be unfunny than get a strike. Right, another thing I forgot to mention is that the Gozyugers, similarly to the Zyuohgers in fact, have animal powers they got after being chosen by Tegasword. Hoiru gets the smell of a wolf, Ryugi gets T-Rex strength, Sumino gets unicorn magic that lets her read opponents' minds when touching them, and Kinjiro stays young by eating eggs.
Right! What?
If you haven't seen the show, I promise all of that makes sense. As for Rikuo, he has the hearing of a lion. By the way, I wanted to fact check this since Zyuohger tried insisting that tigers have powerful taste buds through Amu's animal civilian powers, even though they don't. But this one is accurate, since the design of lion ears makes them scary good at hearing out prey, with bones even amplifying any sounds taken in. So kudos for taking inspiration from real animal science while adding a fantasy spin. Said spin being, Rikuo can hear what people truly desire deep down by listening to them speak from the heart. It's how he realized Gaia is okay with getting himself killed to save Runa. And from listening to her, he knows the truth now. Runa does not hate or resent Gaia. She's not angry with him. She's just lashing out because she's being kept alive by the Oni no One's hatred. Possibly it's hatred of feeling incomplete, and maybe even her hatred of it. The truth is, behind this monster, Runa is waiting for Gaia to free her, while still singing their song. This gives us a unity between the lions where Rikuo sings and Gaia plays his damn heart out. And they do it so well, the power of the song resurrects Gal King from the robot graveyard in episode 1. Finally, with assistance from Hoiru's auxiliary mecha, Decaclaw, the monster is broken open like the other no ones that got freed with Tegasword's blades, and Gaia reawakens Runa in his embrace after lunging into the beast's chest. Finally, they're back together! She's free! But she's fading now. Because without the Oni no One's hatred fueling her, Runa's spirit is moving on. But despite this, she still tells Gaia they'll see each other again. That someday, her spirit will be reborn, and he'll find her again no matter how many times that rebirth takes place. And until then, she just wants him to live.
ガイア、生きて。ちょっとの間。バイバイ。ガイア。
So, with one last Megazord duo finisher against the Oni no One, Gaia frees Runa once and for all, and says goodbye, and thank you for her life being in his. After this, he says goodbye to the Gozyugers and gives the Gao Ranger ring to Rikuo, because he got his wish. We've technically seen a resolution like this before in previous episodes regarding Hoiru and the new Don Momotaro Tokunatsu, where the Universe Warrior still got his wish granted despite losing his power. Only in this case it's a bit different because the wish technically gets granted during a fight as opposed to after it, and Gaia giving up his ring willingly instead of losing it in combat makes this resolution even more impactful to me. That said, the episode truly ends with Gaia stating he's going out to find more beasts in the world, and to keep living like Runa wants him to. Godspeed, Ocarina of Lions. Godspeed. So, in case you couldn't tell, I love these episodes. They're currently my favorites in Gozyuger, and now among some of my favorites in the entirety of Super Sentai from what I have seen so far. I don't want to see any damn comments about how another show did this storyline better and how I'm an idiot for thinking this is better than that when that's not what I'm saying. And even if a different Sentai did this kind of storyline better, that's not gonna stop me from glazing these episodes starting now. Like I said, thanks to the stellar directing of Sakamoto, the episodes look great and the action is exciting, creatively shot, and well balanced, with no fight scene feeling stretched out, forced, or out of place. That said, as I've illustrated, it's the storytelling I love most here. While I've made it clear in the past that I don't want to be a quote-unquote objective critic who tries to analyze stories solely on their writing, that doesn't mean I think writing isn't important or don't appreciate when it's good, and as I hope I've illustrated in recapping these episodes, the storytelling in them is wildfire. They They brilliantly expanded upon the no-one monsters while sticking with the rules of how they work, gave depth to Rikuo in both fighting skill and what he values emotionally, had his skill as a singer tie into the narrative to help solve the issue at hand, and made Gaia a tightly written, great character despite only being here for 2 episodes, while also giving us great jokes with the monster and Hoiru, good exposition to get all this stuff across, and an empowering message against suicide. That there is always another way, that you can always find the happiness you want in this life, even if you just don't get it the way you thought you would. Speaking of, I didn't mention it earlier, but Kawashima, the Sun Vulcan Universe Warrior, wore the same sunglasses as Commander Arashiyama, played by Shin Kishida in Sun Vulcan, who died of cancer at age 43. So needless to say, I find Kawashima's appearance here more impactful now, despite still being a joke character. Plus, it's a way more touching and interesting reference than Iwashita over here, who just has silver hair like Bado's. Really? That's your big Zyuohger reference? I was watching this scene thinking, oh, Iwashita mentioning a wedding fund is a reference to Zyuohger episode 26, where Yamato has to protect his friend's wedding from Bungrei. So in this case, Iwashita is inverting Yamato's desire to keep the connections with those around him alive. Because instead of admitting somebody he cares about did something scummy, he's taking it out on the person that he perceives stole from him. But no, just silver hair like Bado's, huh? Yeah, that's okay. I didn't think my interpretation of my favorite Sentai's legacy hero was accurate or thematically relevant or anything. That's cool. By that logic, me using this footage of Benny from Lego Movie could be a reference to how in my fanfiction Power Rangers Zookeepers, I named my Red Ranger Benny. Jokes aside, it's not a bad reference, just not as compelling as the others. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, this writing is fire, no candle. Speaking of writing, as I said, these episodes pay tribute to a previous anniversary season. Now, as of making this video, I have not seen Gal Ranger, but I have watched Power Rangers Wild Force, a show that, to my knowledge, sticks close to many plot points in the Sentai despite doing a lot of its own thing as well. And as a Wild Force fan, I loved picking up on the references that made it to the adaptation. Starting with the Oni no One and Runa's story being a tribute to the counterparts of Princess Shayla and Zenaku. Without spoiling everything, Zenaku was a werewolf monster who utilized a flute dagger and a moon-shaped blade. So naturally at first, he causes a lot of trouble. But then, he's freed by the Rangers, revealed to be a forgotten warrior named Merrick, who then gets over his guilt and becomes the Silver Howling Wolf Ranger. So yeah, black howling monster with a horn and moon-shaped blade? Sound familiar? But it goes deeper than that. In Wild Force, after Merrick is freed, there's one episode where he reconnects with his former lover, Princess Shayla, by playing the Song of Animaria, a cheesy but relaxing nature song with Shayla singing and Merrick playing his flute for their old friend, the deer Wild Zord. In case it wasn't obvious, Hibiki no Shirabe is Gal Ranger's deer song. And while I can't speak for how well it references the original, I not only really love the Senna cover, but seeing what is essentially a role reversal where Shayla is the possessed Zenaku monster, with Merrick fighting to get her back, was surprisingly touching and impactful to me. Speaking of impact, Gao King coming back almost made me cheer because the Wild Zords, aka the Gao animals, are some of my favorite mecha in either franchise. Even though I don't have any right now because Toku toys are always expensive, and while I'm here, fuck price gougers. Why is Cube Octopus still $50 on eBay? I thought you all hated the Zyuohger mecha. They look like Minecraft. They're too blocky and uneven. Then why are you charging so much money for them if nobody apparently wants them? And speaking of Zyuohger, I know they're gonna drop a memorial toy any day now that's gonna completely come out of nowhere and bankrupt me, and I'm still waiting on that Memorial Universe Take-A-Sword that I know is gonna cost $300.
Oh, come on! I didn't even mention them! What are you doing? What? No! No, not my shark tank! Not my shark tank!
Ugh. Anyway, the point is, I love these Zords, so seeing them got me warm and fuzzy. Can someone hook me up with a relatively cheap Elephant Wild Zord toy, please? Please? But on a slightly more serious note, here's one last thing that made me happy to see as a Wild Force fan. If you don't know Wild Force, the Red Ranger of that season was named Cole Evans. He was played by actor Ricardo Medina, who also briefly returned to the series in 2011 and 12 to play the samurai villain Decker. And it pains me to say, as somebody who loved his roles on both shows, that in January 2015, Ricardo was arrested for murdering his roommate with a sword. And yes, the creepy, albeit coincidental irony that this happened after he played a villain on Samurai obsessed with his sword is not lost on me. But although this horrible loss of human life obviously has nothing to do directly with the production of Wild Force and Samurai and doesn't ruin my enjoyment of either show, even if it makes some scenes with Decker really uncomfortable now.
No one will be safe. And my victim's pain will be your fault, not mine.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it still feels real weird watching footage of Cole nowadays. So seeing somebody wear the red Wild Force suit again in a heroic fashion, in 2 episodes about the preservation of life, yeah, I think you can imagine why I feel good seeing this suit again. And wrapping all of these pros up in a lovely Falcon Summoner-shaped bow is that message: to keep living. Amidst all this Super Sentai insanity connected to a multiversal, time-resetting universe war is the story of a broken man feeling responsible for the death of his wife, who comes to believe that ending it all is the only option for setting himself free from this pain. But through Rikuo's genuine kindness, he saves him and grants his wish to say goodbye to his wife so he can keep living, so he can keep protecting and taming beasts like she'd want him to. Rikuo in particular helping him with this is what elevated him to probably being my favorite Gozyuger. Despite being an idol, which may give you the initial impression he's a full-of-it snob who has to learn not to be a jerk, he's actually got a heart and wants to be at least respectful of people's wishes. Case in point, in episode 2, during a competition with a treasure hunter no one, we get this scene that, at first, makes Rikuo look like a manipulative scumbag. He pretends to be sick and suckers elderly fans of his out of a precious item they own to win the no one's treasure competition. Again, in isolation, that's an asshole thing to do. But then, at the end of the episode, it's revealed after the fight he returned the item to the couple unharmed with an autograph and took a selfie with them. He does care about the wishes of others, and that's on full display here. Given that the episode also highlights Rikuo's skills in combat as more precise and tactical than other Gozyugers, this not only highlights how he's a more subtle take on the intelligent Blue Ranger archetype, but with that in mind, they could have easily made all of the emotion he presents to Gaia a con. And it's revealed he did all this because he just wanted to win the ring and keep his dream in reach, which, to be fair, if they did that, would be compelling. But even if that does sound interesting, I still adore this execution. Having Rikuo be sincere and getting to use his singing talents to save the day, while helping Gaia find peace and get his wish, is awesome. It's mutually beneficial as all the Gozyugers get to keep their rings and get closer to their wishes, but it's not done transactionally, and I fully believe Rikuo's desire to help Gaia came from the heart. A desire that led to that powerful message I hold so dearly from these episodes. A simple but timeless lesson, one which also connects to the rest of Gozyuger thematically, that there is always another way to live or get what you wish for, even if it's not exactly everything you thought it'd be. In other words, Gozyuger utilized the concept of wishes and dreams better than Disney's Wish. There, I made a video about my Toku hyperfixations and made fun of the Disney movie that everyone loves to hate even though I haven't seen it. Can I please have more views on my Infinity Train animation now?
Nope. You a bitch!
So yeah, to start closing out, these episodes are excellent and embody why I love Super Sentai. Whether it's comedy or tragedy, hope or despair, death or life, good Sentai episodes make me happy to be alive. And both of these Gozyuger episodes, alongside the rest of the show for that matter, have been #1 at doing that lately. I don't entirely know how this show will end, but going off what they've done so far, and in episodes after this with the newcomer Goju Polar, this show is going to be on a good track, and I'll be here for it till the end, no matter who wins the fight for their dreams. For now though, that's going to do it for this video. I'm American Elephant, call me Kevin, thanks for stopping by Elephant Power Productions. Follow me on all these platforms, check out my animations, subscribe if you want more content like this, and... Alright, 1 second. And cutting straight to the chase, by the time you see this video, I will be moving. Obviously this is a big change, so I just wanted to have a quick face-to-face conversation before I get out of this place. The first thing being, don't worry, this will not be affecting my upload schedule. I am still going to be posting 1 video every month for the rest of this year, alternating between animation projects and Kev Talks. But more importantly, I just wanted to say a few words about where I'm currently living, which is Texas. Texas, you have been a hot, storm anxiety-inducing, politically broken nightmare to live in. And for all the bad stuff that does happen here, or all the stupid things about living here, I've done a lot of great stuff here and experienced a lot of great things in the state. I mean, after all, this is still where I finished online college. I wrote my first fan fiction, which was my first big contribution to the Power Rangers fandom, where I made my first fan animation, where I went to my first Power Ranger convention, More Phenomenal Expo in San Antonio, where I got to meet a Wild Force Ranger. I got to meet Taylor Earhart from Wild Force in real life. My Gal Rangers. And most importantly, for the sake of this video, whether I like it or not, this is where Kev Talks started. So again, like I said, Texas, you're a nightmare. But you're my nightmare. And you've been home, and I am gonna miss you. Oh, and one more thing. Sumaseba kikoeru darao kaze ga konda itsuka no yobigoe Ikinasai Soko ni aru no wa Makoto no yasuraka sa Toki wo ataru inori no naka de Yakusoku wa hatasareru Fukaku iki wo suikomi haruka naru damashi wo hibikasete. Rangers, thank you for watching this episode of Kev Talks. Take care of yourselves, keep living, and elephant power to all of you. Wait! I just remembered. I still have one really big question after these episodes. If Gaia is right and every animal on Earth can be tamed with a specific instrument, then what instrument do you play for elephants? Well, let's look at the facts. We know Kalimbas control wolves, maracas control lions, Kennas control eagles, Kihadas control equine species, and Gaia says he has an instrument for controlling gorillas. But he forgot it, so even if we crack time travel, we still don't know how to fix the timeline.
Damn it!
Right, sorry, elephants. Now, there's no Animal Kingdom class distinction between the instruments because all the mammals have instruments that make different sounds. So that makes things complicated. And geography can't be the answer because maracas are not from Africa, or even that one park in India that has a small population of Asiatic lions. And Kenna's an Andean instrument controlling eagles wouldn't make sense, because apparently there are no eagles in the Andes Mountains. They got cocks of the rock, but not a single eagle. Weird. Needless to say, I was stumped. Then I thought perhaps it's the sound of the instrument that gets linked to the animal based on some kind of audible similarity to their sounds. For the kalimba, it could sound similar to wolf pup yipes or howls. The Kenna could at least sound like an eagle call high in the mountains if played at a certain frequency. And for the final time, the Kihadas are horse jaws that get used like xylophones. So that is at least a sound coming from a dead horse. But once again, the outlier is the maracas, because lions don't exactly make a shaking sound. So I was stumped again, until I looked up lion maracas on YouTube out of desperation and got this clip from The Lion King 2: Simba's Pride.
That's not a king. That's a fuzzy maraca. Kovu.
And believe it or not, after rewatching that clip, it hit me like a brick truck. I now strongly believe the animal choice for an instrument is based on the instrument's shape or construction. Hear me out, let me cook. The kalimba has multiple keys like claws on a wolf paw. The kena is hollow inside like the bones of eagles and other birds of prey. The kihadas, man, you already know. And finally, surprisingly, the maracas are, in a way, abstractly shaped like male lions, as both have thick circular mane shapes where all the noise comes from, leading down to a long, skinnier tail. Also, maracas plural could refer to either lions living in a pride, as they are very social creatures, or the lions of Tsavo, a pair of man-eating males from Kenya now shot dead in Chicago. And those pricks always have something to do with my life, so I would not be surprised if they influenced Super Sentai so much that it turns out the shadow line from Tokyuger created the Lunatic Express.
You're completely delusional. I know.
Anywho, we got him now, boys. So going off this theory, what is the elephant's instrument? Well, it would have to be something constructed similarly to a part of their anatomy, whether skeletal or muscular. And while they could be similarly shaped like their ears, I don't think the answer is pianos. Even though that is worth bringing up because, as proven by pianist Paul Barton, Asian elephants definitely love piano music. Now, you could make an argument that this is similar to the kihadas being made of a dead animal because some pianos do have ivory keys that come from elephant tusks, but poachers fucking suck actually and deserve to be treated like Nazis, so let's not vindicate them. Then at one point, I saw a video of a man playing a didgeridoo that resonated with Asian elephants at a zoo, and I thought this could be it because didgeridoos are long, thick blowing instruments like an elephant's trunk. But when I started considering both subspecies, I realized that if played wrong, a didgeridoo could also sound like buzzing bees, which African elephants are terrified of, which is great for elephant conservation, don't get me wrong, but not for this thought exercise. So my best guess was problematic, and I was stuck again. But then I finally remembered something. Elephants can communicate with each other over miles through infrasonic rumbles so low that the human ear cannot detect them, especially those in Africa with huge migration routes. It's an incredibly nifty feature that even lets them sense oncoming earthquakes and tsunamis. So much so that one baby elephant actually saved a kid at a hotel in Thailand when a tsunami hit because it sensed that something was wrong. Please do not take that as an endorsement of elephant riding though, it's not good for them. Only ride elephants if they're part of a carousel or Dumbo. Anyway, back on topic. It's an entire language based on sonic vibrations that they can feel through their feet. To repeat, they feel sounds through their rounded, circular feet as if they're sent out percussively. Percussion. And if done with enough force, elephants can stomp heavily like a beating drum when they aren't being stealthier than you think they are. Like, no joke, when they want to be, elephants are shockingly quiet creatures. I'm surprised we haven't had like an elephant-themed ninja character yet.
What the fuck?
God damn it, Power Pachyderms! Yes, that's actually what it's called, even though it's an X-Men parody.
But that's a wrap!
Then I remembered this video of an Asian elephant being shown how to play the drum. It's so beautiful. And finally, the nail in the coffin on top of all of this. In the Go Diego Go episode, Safari Rescue, the plot focuses on everyone fighting to save African elephants getting turned to stone by a mosquito witch with a magic wand by utilizing a magic drum, which Aaron the elephant mimics through his stomping. And this show about talking animals doesn't lie.
This isn't a game! Love isn't a game, okay? Because we both win in this game. Because we f***ing love each other.
Right. So with that, I've now concluded that the Beast Tamer instrument for elephants, the musical sound that will allow me to resonate with my favorite animals on the planet, is casual bongos. Did that work?
Elephant green screen effect.